I spoke to you on the phone the day after England had beaten Argentina at Wembley, and your observations on Maradona were very interesting. You made some very interesting comments about him.
Maradona, yeah, he's possibly the best player in the game at the moment, even at the age of 19. He's got all the natural skills of the Tommy Finneys and the Cruyffs and them. Different in build, of course, but sturdy and very clever at beating you. He did it in a bigger hurry than Tommy. Tommy did it more deliberate and more composed. He was still in the box, but he was still doing it in a terrible speed. He did everything at breakneck speed. Maybe he'll learn a little bit to realise that he can slow it down a little bit and be more composed. So maybe a little composure is maybe shorter, but being 19, that's quite possible. He's full of enthusiasm and ability. And the things that he did, he could have done them a little slower and got away with it. And then he would have found himself, when he got the penalty kick, he might have deliberately got past that fella and scored a goal. A goal's better than a penalty. They had Siller's goal of the penalty.
What that you made was that you felt that maybe he was playing in the wrong areas of the field.
Well, this weird areas, I told you. Roger Hunt played in an area where he scored goals. Gordon Milne played in an area where he fetched and carried messages. So all the Liverpool team had played in little relays, so they didn't get hurt, you know. Nobody had to run the length of the pitch. Maybe occasionally, but not always. So Hunt was kept up the field. I thought that if that boy had kept in that area where Hunt was and kept his strength, then he would be a terrible handful. Because that night at Wembley he worked hard. At the end of the day he must have been really tired. He covered so much ground. Now he's young and he can do that. But I think that if you conserve your energy occasionally, I mean, you can't burn yourself up all the time. And he is brought up in a hot climate, incidentally, in the summer hotter than we have. But I felt that he could be so lethal and to beat you inside the box as he can, as he did once in the first half, and when they got the penalty. But in the first half, when he diddled everybody in the box, he was inside the box. Now the pitch is not very big inside the box. In the centre ring and further out, it's a big place to pitch. Now in midfield, a lot of players can run past you in midfield, but when they get to the fringe of the box, it's a harder job to run past you. So the pitch is smaller there. So in the small area of the pitch, inside the box, he was still beating them. So I would keep him around the box. If somebody else doing the fetching and carrying. And if he did that, then he's going to have the strength to finish off. I think that he's possibly the best player in the game at the moment.
Yeah. It's an entirely different question. A young player, I mean, a lot of young people are going to be listening, young players will be listening to this. What advice would you give to a young player who feels that he's a good player, but he doesn't have the faintest idea about how to get a trial, how to be recognised, or how to break into the game? What advice would you give him?
Well, I've had a number of boys come to me, I mean, since I finished and asked me, and I said, well, you write to the big clubs and ask for a trial, you might get a trial. It's a difficult job to break into the big clubs. I mean, you write and ask for trials, you sometimes don't get them. Somebody's got to recommend you. So I say that to you, or any young boy that wants to get a game, is to get a junior club, a recognised junior club, that's in an organised league. No matter how low it is, it can be the lowest league in the world. But they're playing in a league, and they've got a kit on with a number on the jersey, and they're playing in an organised game with a referee. And to get into that league, no matter what the league is, it might be a small league in Liverpool here, it might be the Isengary League, it might be lower than the Isengary League, which is a very good league. Get a team that's organised, play in it, and keep your place, of course. Now, no matter what game you play in, at football, there's always somebody watching. The opposition who are playing against are watching you. The opposition officials are watching you. Your own officials are watching you. The referee and the linesman are watching you. There'll be a few spectators watching you. And one of them might be a scout. Even for another junior team. Even for a non-league team. Even for a 4th division team. My advice is get to an organised team if you can't break into the big time. And play in that league, and you play. Now, I'll tell you something now. If you can play, somebody will see you playing. There's men being paid as scouts, and some of them are very, very good. Now, it only needs one of these gifted men to see that, and you'll get a club, another club. So no matter what you do, it must be an organised league. So somebody's watching that league. And there's always somebody watching these games. It might be the father of one of the opposition boys who's watching these games. And he might say to some scout, I saw a good player playing for a certain team today. And he might get his name and find out about him. Then if you can play, so they'll pick you up as sure as you're born.
So any boy listening could write to the FA and say, I live in so-and-so, could you send me a list of any local teams or local leagues?
That's correct.
And he can make contact by approaching those small teams.
Well, I can connect to the local league headquarters. If wherever he lives, and whether it's Leeds or Liverpool, I can write to the local league secretary and say, certain situations you need, you'd like to get a game with a team. Or I might go and watch some of these teams playing on a Saturday or a Sunday. They usually play on a Sunday morning or a Sunday afternoon in Liverpool. You could go on a Sunday and watch a team playing, and you could see the man that's in charge of it, and he said, I would like to have a game. And they might say, well, come and train with us next week. Up at the top of our road, there's 5 pitches, and there's Sunday training every night and Sunday as well. Now, if you go up there and you're a boy and you say, I'd like to play, and so you can train with any of these teams. So that, put himself out. You've got nothing sitting still. Make your own way. Some men have climbed Mount Everest, for God's sake. That's nigh impossible, but they've done it. So to get a game with a football team, your local football team, should be easy. Find out where they're training and go and train with them. You get a game with them. Now if you can play, they'll play it. To break into the big time and get trials, they'll say, yes, I'm sorry for you boys, it's a hard job. Because there's so many writing in. And they're only taking the recognised scouts reports. So that eliminates you. So make your own way. Go to the training sessions, go to the junior teams and say to the man that's in charge at the trainer, I play, could I get a game with you? And he'll probably say, well, come and train with us. I'm certain he'll say that. And that's all you want. Chance to train with them, chance to get a game with them. Then when you get your jersey on, blame nobody else but yourself if you fail. When I got a chance to play with the junior team, when I was back home as a boy working in the pit, and that's all I wanted, to get the jersey on and play. And I did the rest. Somebody picked me up within 8 months of that. I went to a professional team. So I'm sorry for all the boys and all the troubles I've got, and I know they're ambitious. I know it's hard to break in, but that's the best way. Get connected with a junior team of some kind, get training with them, get a game with them, and if you can play, they won't let you go.
See, I think it's important that people listening
know
that.
Yeah.
Because that's a tip from the top.
That's a tip from the top, because they're looking for players, all of them. So do that, boys. Get in amongst the juniors where they're training, and you'll train with them. And that's all you want to know. Get training and get playing, then you can show them what you can do. The rest is up to you.
Bill Shankly, thank you very much.
Thank you.